everyone. Today we're going to be talking about some of the Gen Con excitement that's going to be coming up. So this is one of the biggest cons that we go to every single year.
It's the second largest in the world. There's Essen, Spiel, and
I want to go to
Gen Con.
that. I want to go to that.
So, in case anyone isn't aware, Gen Con is kind of like Christmas for us adults that are into gaming.
For him.
For me. So it's like the once a year we come back. I'm going to do whatever we want to do. Be who we want to be for 4 days. They call it the best 4 days in gaming. If you're not familiar with Gen Con, it originated, and the reason it's called Gen Con is it's because it originated in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, it was originally kind of a Dungeons and Dragons focus because that's where Gary Gygax is from. Mm-hmm. So he helped found it, and now, many, many years later, it's been moved from Lake Geneva down to Indianapolis, which is right in our backyard, 2 hours away, 2.5 hours, I guess. But it took me until 2010, even though it was there and I've been here all my life, to actually go. My friends had to talk me into going, and then I haven't looked back since. I've been every year. So this year is the first year we'll be going as VIGs. I got the lottery pick of the year that COVID is impacting it. So I may not have gone otherwise, but I have to go as a VIG because I don't know if there's a lot of concerns with safety from the health side, but also mostly because there's just not many vendors going to be there this year. Mm-hmm. But it's still exciting. It's still going to be fun. And our main focus this year is going to be on just letting people know who may not have been exposed to our channel yet. So welcoming all those new people to join us.
Yeah, so we're kind of today, what the focus is kind of is talking about some of the games that we're anticipating coming up at Gen Con. Because typically there normally is a lot of releases at Gen Con. This year, not quite as many, but it'll be interesting to see what we see there at the convention hall. I know there were 3 specific games that you were super excited about. So let's talk about the least exciting of the 3.
Well, the least exciting, I guess, it's when I said 3 that were must-haves. I
didn't say
they were super exciting. One of which I haven't played the original game, so this is an expansion for a game I have not played yet. I've heard good things about it, but I have not played it. But
What is it?
The Reckoners has an expansion, Steel Slayer, that's being released at Gen Con.
So what is Reckoners about exactly? When was it?
It was, I don't have all the stats in front of me, but it was a Kickstarter done a few years back, and it's a co-op game, but you're basically fighting against superheroes. So you're like, it's kind of like the superheroes gone bad, and you're the humans that are trying to take them out. Okay. Kind of like The Boys, if you've seen The Boys show. Except for this is the board game version of something like that.
So this is an expansion for that game. Okay, yes. So what's the second must-have on that list?
The second must-have is Rocket Men. This was a Kickstarter I missed. And there was... normally I would try to catch those on the back, secondhand, or not secondhand, but I try to get them from a company like Game Preserve or someone... was it Game Preserve? But there's companies like that sell Kickstarters where they buy them in bulk and then they sell them slightly marked up from what the Kickstarter was. And I normally get them from there, but they didn't have it available either. So the fact that it's going to be at Gen Con is, it's going to attract me there for that.
So what is that one particularly about?
I honestly don't know that much about that one.
Oh my gosh!
I just know it got really good. A word of mouth when it came out.
But how is it that you on a must-have list and you don't
Are you really questioning this?
No, I mean, I just want to explain to the viewers
I can't explain
what I have to go through every single day. He's like, this game sounds cool. Well, what about it sounds cool?
Does it not,
I don't know.
Does it not sound cool? It's about Rocket Men. It's space themed. What more do you need?
Is it worker placement? Is it deck builder?
It's a game.
Okay, guys, that's the qualifiers in this household. It's a game.
Uh-huh. And it's a game that a lot of people want.
And so therefore you have to have it.
Exactly.
So that's the real reason.
That's really pretty much
and
it.
See, here's the thing, guys. Okay, so remember Animal Crossing, the game came out.
Mm-hmm.
And Randy was like, oh, and it blew up. Like everyone was trying to get a copy. Randy.
Not Animal Crossing. You're talking about Stardew Valley.
Sorry, Stardew Valley. That's the one. Stardew Valley. Very similar games, guys. Stardew Valley. He's like, oh, babe, you need this. You really love this game. And he spent way too much money on it. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, this is just because everyone else had it. You needed it too. This had nothing to do with me.
It was for you.
Guys, we know the truth. Okay? Me and you, we know the truth. All right. So whether he wants to deny it or not, we all know. All right. So what is the number one exciting bit of Gen Con? What are we looking at?
You know the answer to this one.
I do know, but I am asking for our viewers because I'm the interviewer today.
One of our favorite games of all time is getting remade and re-released as a part one of a 3-part set, and that would be Great Western Trail. This is a game that we love to play.
Yeah, and like we've been holding it off for Western Wednesday because we know this one's going to
because the new one's coming out and we want to play the new one.
Mm-hmm,
and so we can do a compare and contrast with the old, and that's why we haven't put it up on Western Wednesdays. So it will be coming very soon on Western Wednesdays because I guarantee you.
Literally next week. If I get my way, it will be next week. It
will be tried very quickly after we get it. So while we will be getting potentially more games at Gen Con. I know we'll get more because we're going to be attending AEG Big Game Night, and they're going to be giving us games with that.
Yeah. So we'll be basically playing our Gen Con haul immediately after Gen Con. We're going to try to get through all of those before we dive back into the collection.
I've got a list of games that I'm interested in, but I'm not...
Are there any, highlight ones, the ones that you kind of know more about before, what drew them to you?
Waste Nights is my next one. If I had a runner-up for my top 3, that would be my runner-up. Now, Waste Nights, the reason I've got it on the list is I want the Kickstarter version if I can get it. People are trying to sell it for ridiculous prices after the Kickstarter. It's come out since then as a retail version, and I can order it from our local game shop and get it my usual discount on it. But if I can find the Kickstarter version at Kickstarter price, I would prefer to get it there and get the nicer pieces. So I'm going to check it out when I get to Gen Con. So this is a Mad Max-ish type game, similar to what we found with the
Wasteland Express.
Wasteland Express
Another
type
good
game.
one, guys. You should check out
it's that kind of feel as far as theme, but the gameplay I don't think is the same.
Mm-hmm. That one's a pick-up delivery. This one is a little bit different.
This one I don't think will be pick-up deliver.
Any other highlights that you have for us?
There's Vagrant Song is one that looks interesting. I know nothing about this game other than it looks the art looks really pretty on it. The only thing is I think it's got standees, which I'm not a big fan of.
No.
But it has a kind of a ghost train on it.
Oh, okay.
That looked very interesting. There's a game I saw some other reviewers playing a preview of called The Loop that's actually done by Pandasaurus Games that sounded interesting. It's a co-op though, which I'm not big on co-ops, but this one was like you're fighting a Dr. Evil type person, a mastermind through time, and he travels through different places in time, and you have to try to track him down to defeat his evil plan. Now, that sounded interesting. Let's see, any of these other ones. There's a lot of I want to check out the new Galaxy Trucker just to see if there's any differences from the old Galaxy Trucker that would make it worth having. I don't think there will be, but I love Galaxy Trucker. It's one of my all-time favorites. In my top 10 if you watch the top 10 video, so I do want to see that one. Most of these are, just I want to see what they are. I don't really have any that stand out other than those few that I mentioned. There's several on here that may turn out to be great, may turn out to be nothing.
Yeah, I know. So we'll probably give a synopsis and give you guys what we ended up getting.
Yeah, I mean, normally I have 3 to 4 pages of just ones to check out, but I usually have at least 30.
I know. Normally he has this little pack. Like there will be
the pack's not done yet because I do need a pack. Because what I do to prepare is I have a list of all my pre-orders in spreadsheets.
Yes.
From both Kickstarter and from our local game store. And I take that and I add that to this. So when I'm going through and I usually mark the prices and all of that. And I also track down the dates when things release because that's one of the things that I consider when I'm at Gen Con, in the 2 seconds that I have to make a decision about a purchase. I think about, is it going to be released?
Some people take more than 2 seconds.
Well, okay. Well, that's some people, not me. I don't want to hold the line. So when I'm looking at them, I'm evaluating, is this going to release in the next month? Because if it is, I can get my discount and get it. And is it going to have any, obviously, is it going to have any kind of perks about buying it at Gen Con?
Yeah, any promos or anything else like that.
So I always weigh those in before, because I'd rather pay my discounted rate than pay full price if I can get it for cheaper. And if it's coming out in the next month, why buy it there? But that doesn't slow me down a lot.
No, it does not.
Usually I make a lot of trips back from the floor to the hotel room in the first couple hours of Gen Con. So I'm really glad they didn't put in the restriction about time getting in the first couple hours.
So Randy is a shopaholic when it comes to Gen Con.
My entire Gen Con is going to be screwed up this year because there's not going to be that many purchases to make. I'm going to actually have to play games while I'm there.
No.
That's going to be different for me.
What a shame. No, so here's something, though. Guys, I have a question for you. Who do you think is going to come out with more wins this weekend? So there'll be Robert, there'll be me, and there'll be Randy. Who's going to get the most wins? Well, I am the viewers. So anyway.
I think they should get extra bonus points if they pick Robert and that actually comes out.
Be nice. So here's the deal. Comment down below. Who do you think is going to get more wins? The viewers, so anyone that plays games with us, or one of us. So that will be super exciting to see. We'll come out. We'll give it a final tally of who won and by how much. It'll be kind of interesting.
How are you going to keep track of all that? Because we're going to be probably playing separately.
Well, everyone's got to keep track on themselves.
That's administrative labor.
That I am putting him under. Congratulations, you are a lucky winner.
I don't have time for that. That's why I have people.
It's called an app, baby. All right. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We're super excited to see you guys at Gen Con. Please give us a shout out. Come talk to us. We really want to meet everybody.
Yeah, we'll be mostly playing games in the JW on the second floor or whatever. If assuming they have the meeting rooms open. If not, I think the Marriott Hotel is where the official Gen Con rooms are, and we'll have to journey over there with our hall.
So Randy will typically be in our polos or t-shirts. I will be doing some cosplay, so you may not recognize me per se, but definitely give us a shout out if you think it's us. We would love to hang out with you guys. And
if it isn't us, then let us know that too, because I'd really like to know who are imposters.
Yeah, it should be interesting. All right, guys, we'll catch you guys later.
Bye.